Welcome back to Seasonal Spiels. Changing up the wardrobe today because neither of us have any clothing whatsoever for either of the shows we're talking about.
No, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's very typical.
Yeah, I mean, I get not that I don't like the shows that we're going to be talking about, but I don't like them enough to get things for them.
Hands down. Okay, so what are we talking about? Solo leveling, and because there's not much to say besides me complaining about it today, we're also going to be talking about, mainly me today, sorry, me-centric episode. But I'm up to date on Dr. Stone. New season's been airing. It's just my comfy watch show. That's about all I can say, but we'll get more into it later throughout the video. But once again, I'm Quincy Lell.
I'm Audrey Williams.
So, starting with solo leveling. Okay, so as of today, 20 episodes are out, so 8 in the second season, 2/3 of the way, guys. I can talk, I promise. And it's definitely, at least for me, very lackluster pacing and, satisfaction overall, now that we're in this, second half of what's been adapted. Because, again, I had not read the source material whatsoever, so.
Yeah, I haven't either. And even, I haven't watched any of season 1, but I did watch the episode, because I watched the recap movie.
So, that was a good movie.
So, yeah, it was good. So going into season 2, I just, I skipped the episodes that were in that movie and went from 3 to 5. And, even not having, or not that I remember, or what am I trying to say? I don't, remember every single, plot thing from the movie that gets mentioned, but, even going into it without a whole lot of, prior context, it did feel, very slow.
Yeah.
And, why are we on this for this long, if that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah. Let me just get some general things out. I really don't mind the hunters and the ants that are impendingly impossible to defeat because they're strong and they're ants. As you can see based on my wardrobe, I do recognize how inspired by Hunter x Hunter this is, but it's also okay, clearly these ants have been set up. I thought they were going to be happening this season. Clearly that is not the case because we're 8 episodes in, and it's spoilers, if you don't mind. An ant has landed in Japan after flying and started killing people. Great, okay. So clearly we're not going to fight the ants this season, which is why are we doing all the rest of this then?
Oh, that's interesting, because that gets mentioned at the beginning
it gets
of the season.
so mentioned. It's clearly trying to be set up again, and I'm why did you set it up in the first season? Because the first season had a lot more going for me. It had some character development. Had Jinho as the best side character ever in this show. I still stand by this fact. Jinho, king.
Yeah, I haven't even seen a whole lot of him, but episode 3, he's a cutie pie. I like him.
What episode? I think it's 7. Stands up for Jinwoo. I'm yes, okay. Yes, love you. So I'm he's the only side character with any soul in him. I can't name any other character we've gotten more screen time of that is actually not his sister and thus automatically counts as a good character. Yeah. Because it's the only familial relationship of Jinwoo who's not unconscious or apparently trapped in a gate who just came back out into the US for some reason after 10 years.
Yeah.
Because I think you saw that, right?
Mm-mm. Oh, the stuff with his father.
Yeah.
He told me about this, but I haven't seen it yet.
Really? Mm-mm. Maybe it was in episode 2 then. Maybe it was the very end or something.
Or wait, is it the guy with the really long...
Yes.
Okay,
with the necklace.
Okay.
Yeah, it's him. And I'm how are you alive? You've been trapped in a different... Anyway, I'm sure that'll be revealed. I'm fine with that. But anyway, aside from, the Hunter x Hunter aesthetic, the fact that it's so set in stone in its rankings really does not provide any source of, gate. It's like Dragon Ball gate. Just it's over 9,000. Well,
right.
Duh, you're not going to defeat that if you're, at 750. Yeah. I don't think anyone's going to fight you.
It's even when they retest his ranking and they're that scene was so funny too because they're retesting it and it keeps popping up with the error and then she grabs her boss and I'm that is just like me at work when anything goes wrong.
No, I'm yeah.
Something's going on.
Let me try it again. Maybe I did something wrong. Yeah. And then you're clearly it's a system thing. Hey, hold on, everything's fine. Let me just go over here.
Yeah, let me go get my manager.
Yeah.
But that all of that aside, it's just it was interesting because, well, I say interesting, but the guy that she grabs, that I guess is her superior or whatever, comes in and is oh, it's not that it's a system error, it's that his power level's too high. And I'm okay, but I could have figured that out.
Yeah, I think anyone could have figured that out.
Right.
I think we all could have figured that out after all this time.
And it's also it doesn't give you, I don't know, because the other thing is that what is it? Because they say that he's the 10th S rank.
Yeah, the 10th in the country.
And they're... Oh, because he also meets, like, the first S rank.
Yeah, the chairman.
At some point. And I'm like... This guy, like, he has... Like, they spend the episode before that happens... Or maybe it's, like, 2... I don't know. I forget the order. But one of the episodes before that he meets the chairman guy is, like... Him literally getting, like, 10,000 more demon souls.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
At what point is he just, like... Because what could be stronger than that is my thing. I'm
yeah.
Like,
I mean, like... Obviously, we're still in Korea. We're still this side of the world. So I'm sure, like, since they've hyped up the U.S., yeah, I guess that's somewhat strong. As usual, apparently.
Yeah.
But, like, my problem is, like, the pacing's weird. And again, I don't know if that's an adaptation thing. What I'm watching, bad pacing. Just gonna put that out there for the orc stuff. Only thing I've liked so far in the season has been the fights, which they better pay off because that's the only thing keeping me watching. And Jinho, which is the only character I keep watching for. So as soon as he dies, I might just be out of this thing for the permanent thing, okay? So, like... My thing, too, is just, like, is this season just glazing Jinwoo? Like, have we not already recognized and glazed him already on the internet? Like, is this season just dedicated to that? Because I'm like, I can forgive the S ranks not knowing how strong he is, because, like, obviously they're supposed to be, like, really rare. But it's also, like, we've seen so much of everyone else glazing this man as, like, oh, he's an S rank. Then I'm like, yeah, y'all should know he's an S rank upon first sight. Can we move on?
Right.
Like...
It's very, like, because also that scene with the... I forget his name at this point, but the red-haired guy...
Don't like, even know his name.
Yeah.
Like, I just know he's the Hunter's Guild master.
Right. He, like, Jinwoo, after the retesting thing, walks past him trying to recruit him, and it's like... And
but
the
it's not even cool.
Guy, and I'm like, I don't...
But it's not even cool.
It's not.
It's just, like, he's... Basically, this just tells me... Jinwoo's like, just gonna put that out there, we will bleep that. But it's like, I don't know how else to describe this man, because it's like, he had some character in season 1, now it's like...
He's kind of...
Yeah.
He's strong and that's it, and he wants his mom to wake up.
And I'm like, that's
and
nice.
That's fair, but we don't see enough of, like, his relationship with her to care about that at all.
We see nothing. Like, he doesn't have hobbies, and I get it, it's because he has to go in the dungeons, but I'm like, okay... But didn't he just earn, like, an entire building's worth of money from Jinho? Why are you still going in dungeons? Is that not... Like, except for the demon, why are you bothering? You have a lot of money. Yeah. Literally plenty of money. I'm sure that would cover your sister's college. Just gonna put that out there.
No, exactly. It is very...
I don't know. I guess my thing is, like, it seems like he's getting power for no reason other than... And, like, obviously that's kind of the point. The system is just wanting him to be strong. But I'm like... But, like, can't we give him a goal for wanting this power?
Yeah. Because it... I don't know. It seems like, or even if you're gonna, like, stick with what you have, I think in order to make it more impactful, develop his relationship with his family at least a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because, like, as it is now, I don't, like, yeah, it sucks that his mom's unconscious, but, like, I don't know enough about their relationship to care.
No, for real. There's
like,
no world building.
I'm assuming he obviously loves her and wants her to wake up, but, like...
No, for sure.
Obviously, because that's his mom. Like, I need more than that.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, it's nice that y'all care. I would hope so.
Right.
Seems like a normal family. Don't know anything else. Not even a flashback. Honestly, with how much flashbacks we've gotten of him being, like, bullied, I'm like, why don't we get a flashback with the mom?
Right.
That's clearly, like his driving force right now, and even that's kind of lackluster. Like, there's no good world building, not much compelling characters, like, the power system is kind of meh. Even the conflict, like, I'm just here to see the cool fight. It's like, there's no conflict, though, because he's gonna win.
Right.
Do I even need to say any more?
Like, even that fight in in episode 3, like the first one after the ones in the recap movie, it's like he gets, like, tripped up for a second by, like, the big boss before he beats him, because I was like, realistically, even watching that, I was like, I don't think he's gonna be bested by this monster.
No, it's like...
But, like, he tripped up for a second, I'm like, okay.
And I will say, like, that's pretty typical for a lot of, like, OP protagonists. Like, obviously, if you're gonna be super duper strong, hard to create tension. But you can do it in other ways. Like, there's always ways, like okay, One Punch Man does I'm gonna compare it to One Punch Man. So, obviously, it's a bit different, because you didn't see, like, the Zero to Hero for Saitama, you just know about it. But even then, because there's a plethora of good side characters who struggle against an opponent, and the whole point is that Saitama is, like, just late. Like, that's his whole thing, is, like, he's good at doing what he does, but it's always, like, kind of late to the party, to the point where, like, when he shows up and, like, King shows up and accidentally takes the credit. Anyway, it's a whole thing. But I'm like, even then, because you have compelling side characters to drive the plot forward in these battles, I feel tension. Like, even though I know Saitama's gonna almost always win, there's at least tension there because people he cares about are involved.
Right.
Or people who, like, are adjacent to him and, like, anything like that. And it's like, at least it kind of makes sense to me, because also Saitama has, like, a mental struggle because he's just becoming depressed all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas Jinwoo's is, like, he's killed people. Okay, so that's a little mental taxing. You got anything else for me? Anything else? Because at least Saitama's quirk is like being frugal with his spending. You got anything else for me? Because Saitama's kind of funny. Anything, genuinely. Literally anything but being like, oh, I'm cool. You want to be me. Like, literally nothing. Like, I get I'm not the ideal audience, but still.
Right. He likes Jinho. And that's kind of.
But does he?
I don't know.
I can't. It feels very one-sided.
A little bit.
Like he definitely feels like that, like, older, like, senpai, like, get off my case, kid, kind of vibe.
Yeah, I mean, even, like, in the dub, well, okay, because I watched it in the dub, and I will say, his voice in the dub does not help with my impression of, like, how stoic
I watched subs, so
annoying.
I wouldn't know.
No, it's very, like, I described this earlier, but he has, like, that e-boy type of voice where I'm, like, I had my headphones on watching, too, and I'm like, get out of my ears.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's a whole other thing. That's only if you watch the dub kind of complaint, but...
I will say, like, my main complaint is to episodes, like, 4 through 6, the orc arc, the mining and orc. Terrible pacing. Only redeeming thing is episode 6. I wouldn't even bother with episodes 4 and 5. What's the point? Some girl sniffs them, she likes them. I don't understand.
So, that was weird.
The only good episodes to me this season are 7 and... Well, like, 1 and 2, I'm like, I forget are part of the season. They were good. Like, everything in the movie, good. But ever since, like, 3 is alright. 4 and 5 seem pointless. 6 is a good action scene, but again, not much else happening. 7 is nice world building. 8 has been the only really good one. It's another fight, but it was also well paced, and I like feel like we finally accomplished something.
Oh, okay.
Even though it also has the ant stuff in it, but at least that's still setting up. Like, it's still at least going into the ants. I still feel like it's like, why are we here if we care about the ants more? But whatever. But anyway, that's all to say. Kind of just here for the fights and the animation.
Yeah, I think like.
Which is kind of sad.
Yeah, because it could be a lot more happening, and it just kind of doesn't feel like it is for me.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you want to watch cool fights with a good soundtrack,
yeah,
it's a good anime. But
there's not much.
There's not a whole lot else that I can really say about it because it doesn't feel like. It feels like they're trying to develop a larger plot, but not really getting there.
There's something missing. Like, it doesn't like, you're spending so much time with one character, to Solo, but he's so flat. There's nothing happening with this guy. Yeah. Except, ooh, strong. Ooh, cool. Cool. Like honestly, I think it'd be a better video game than an anime at this point. Exactly. Because you could become Jinwoo, kind of like what they're trying to do with, like, insert yourself kind of thing. But anyway, not to keep harping on this. So, moving on. Dr. Stone. This season, I don't know, I'm just happy the gang's all together. Mind spoilers?
No, I don't.
Okay. So, everyone's on the same side, even, like, Hyoga and Homura, and, like, I think, what is it? Maz and Kirisame, I think, from the previous season. They're all on Senku's side. I'm like, okay, let's go. And we're off to America.
Oh.
Just traveling across the world.
Right.
No big deal. And they do it. And then guess what they find?
What do they find?
So they're like, okay, we need corn. And they're like, and Senku's kind of getting suspicious as they're getting closer because they're following the river. And there's clearly corn. But he's like, okay, but how could there be corn? It's been like 3,700 years. Someone must be raising it. Right as someone with a machine gun shoots at them. And they're like, oh, great. Machine gun. Totally normal in this day and age. And I'm like, okay, this is like, that hyped me immediately. And then apparently there's like a whole freaking factory.
Oh.
Like near Sacramento with a cornfield and everything. And planes. They have planes.
Interesting.
So it's really, really nice because it's like a different battle. Because like previously it had been like, you know, muscle versus science. And now it's like science versus science. And like more morale debating. Because the one in America, the side in America just wants to be a dictator. Senku's like, no, I want to revive people. So it's kind of nice. It's just my comfort watch show. Like, I'm not, like, it's Dr. Stone. I'm not, like, thinking it's the greatest shonen ever. But it's, like, nice. Yeah. And I like that we're finally, like, amping it up to, like, new levels. Because their goal is to go to the moon, so you knew they were going to have to develop even more. But I also wasn't expecting someone... I mean, I guess I should have, because Senku did it, but someone else just, like, woke up like Senku. And I guess I just wasn't expecting machine guns, an entire factory.
No, fair. That seems like a very...
Like, I thought Senku was, like, speed running this game. Yeah. Apparently not.
Apparently he was behind somebody else.
Yeah.
Which is why... Yeah, I haven't watched season... I don't think I even got to season 3, actually.
That's
but,
so real.
Yeah, that's because same thing. Like, I thought he was speed running through it, so that's wild.
Yeah, he made like cell phones like in one season, like season 1. I was like, okay, good for you. Obviously, archaic version, but still. But yeah, that's kind of it. They're in the U.S. now. They're about to somehow defeat this opponent. Presumably, I don't see how they wouldn't, either through charm or just science, whatever. I don't care. And then hopefully go to the moon and resolve everything because I'm still curious about that.
Yeah.
But it does make sense that they were on the moon to, like, freeze the entire planet. You can't be on the planet to freeze. Like, where else would you be? No, I don't think anyone else is going to be on Mars doing this. So, like, it makes sense. But yeah, that's kind of it.
It's, kind of all we have.
Just me yapping a lot. My bad.
No, it's so good. And even though I haven't watched a ton of Solo Leveling, I still... Yeah. Now that I've watched a little bit of it, I feel like I understand where you're coming from.
It's just kind of sad because at this point, if the episode doesn't have a fight, I don't care how much... Okay, Jinho aside, I don't care how much development there is. It's just boring. It's like, why am I watching this if you have nothing else to give me but a good fight?
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And so I'm hoping it'll get better with the ants or whatever. We'll never top Hunter x Hunter. I don't expect it to ever, which is just, it's whatever. I'm probably expecting too much out of this, but it's like the big thing this season and it's hyped up so much. I'm just kind of like let down by that, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's
so if you go in with like no expectations, it's great. Which sounds like a backwards compliment. Kind of is. My bad. But anyways, that's it for this episode. Next episode, we'll continue the third part of our One Piece miniseries. Yes. This time kind of talking about the lore and just like the mysteries of One Piece, kind of just gushing about that this time. Honestly, we could go on and on and on and on and on about One Piece, but we don't have that much time in our lives, unfortunately. So we'll only have probably 4 parts of this, so this will be the second to last. And then we also have spring break coming up, so that might interrupt our schedule too. But overall, thanks for watching.